Sir Jim Ratcliffe has completed a deal to buy a minority stake in Manchester United. But what does that mean for the Red Devils? Are they about to return to the glory days, or is this just false hope for the red half of Manchester? We'll explore his deep roots in sports, what we can expect from United, and why the ownership of Nice may be a warning for what's to come at United. And just a warning, it's not good viewing. Sir Jim is the founder, chairman, and majority owner of British petrochemicals empire Ineos. The firm generates $65 billion of revenue every year. He's worth a total of £29.7 billion, which makes him the second richest man in the UK. He's recently released a car which is trying to rival Land Rover and will cost you $58,000. His deal to buy United sees him acquiring 25% of the club, but more importantly, he'll gain control of football operations. This is significant because if you look at Manchester United's shortcomings in recent years, a large portion of that can be down to the day-to-day footballing decisions. The Glazers employed an accountant to run one of the biggest football clubs in the world, and that was evident, with £1.22 billion spent, and not a whole lot to show for it. The result of this has been terrible form in recent years, and a sour atmosphere surrounding the club. But let's look to the future. What makes the 71-year-old any more qualified to run the club than his predecessors? His deal with Manchester United is far from his first step into the sporting world. Sir Jim and his chemicals company have become prominent in football, Formula One, cycling, and rugby. Ratcliffe and Ineos' first major move into football happened in 2019 by buying Liga side Nice. This was followed a year later by a part ownership of Mercedes' Formula One team. There was no sign of stopping, with sponsorship deals for New Zealand rugby and a partnership with Kipchoge, the record-breaking marathon runner. These are some of the very best sports people and teams in the world, so United will be in good company. A good insight into what the future holds for United would be to look at the new owner's history with Nice since buying them 5 years ago. On a whole, Nice fans are pretty 50-50 when it comes to Ineos involvement. In recent years, Nice have been battling for European spots, mostly Europa League. For the last 10, they finished in the top 8 almost every year. When Jim Ratcliffe arrived, his plan was, quite simply, to get Nice to the Champions League spots on a regular basis, and look to fight with PSG eventually for titles. Before the Ineos era, Nice's average player purchase was 10 to 15 million maximum. Since Ratcliffe took over, Nice regularly make transfers for twice as much, 20 to 30 million. This is big for Liga. The football side of things did not go as planned, however. 4 full seasons in with Ratcliffe, Nice finished 5th, then 9th, 5th again, and then 9th again last year, and also lost the final of the Coupe de France last year. Most players they've splashed the cash on, Kasper Dolberg, Kevin Stengs, Stanley Nsocki, failed to deliver. So what can United fans expect then? There's no doubt that the approach to Nice will not provide a blueprint for managing a club like United, but theoretically this will allow him to hit the ground running far quicker than at first with the French club. However, as there's been a lack of good businessmen in the club for some years now, there'll need to be some untangling, and I don't think it'll be an overnight fix. The things we know will definitely change are the transfer policies, more aligned to that of Manchester City, and not just signing the biggest name player who's 30 plus, with more of a conscious effort to bring in players who will finally build the spine of Manchester United. There is already a significant renovation plan for Old Trafford, with 250 million quid coming out of old Jim's back pocket. We can also expect to see serious personnel changes off the field, with a new CEO first priority, with Jean-Claude Blanc favourite to take charge. United have also already been linked to Newcastle's highly thought-of director of football Dan Ashworth, so it's safe to say Jim isn't wasting any time. As for Ten Hag, it's yet to be seen what is to happen to his job, but he needs to start climbing the table to avoid getting the boot. Ratcliffe has expressed a long-term commitment to the club, intending to use the global knowledge, expertise and talent from the wider Ineos sport group to drive improvements at Manchester United. His goal is to bring the club back to the forefront of English, European, and world football. If you learned something from this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more business in sports videos every single week. Bye for now.